what I'm saying is not just stuff that, oh, I'm just saying it just because I want to say it. About some of the things that I've noticed when it comes to building in Ghana and just some of the experiences we've had basically. So the first one I want to talk about, which I thought was kind of like odd to me because I've never seen this before. I'll tell you. Right, so when we had our African map done, we had Zach come.
Yeah, the nearer you bring it to a surface, the more you see. The more away from it, it's just like a torch, isn't it? So. Yeah, I think so, Charlie.
Come and do it for us. Zach is absolutely amazing, an amazing artist when it comes to doing POV. He is like up there. Now, after Zach did our African map, he was called away onto another job, and he was on that job for some time. And so we couldn't wait, and we needed to get someone to come and continue with the work and to do the POV for us. And so that's when we ended up, we had somebody else. We had Alex.
Perfect, you see?
Wow.
Oh, good. Fantastic. See, they got it. Very nice. So,
okay.
So they'll create the design.
So that part is going to be down a bit. So we're not going to lose too much ceiling height, are we?
You see? Yeah, no ceiling. That's originally it was a little bit lower. So can you see the mark? Yeah. So I noticed it, and then they raised it up.
Asked them to raise it up.
Yeah.
Come and do it for us. But before we got Alex, honestly, it was really difficult because one thing we've noticed is that with Ghanaians, or maybe other Africans as well, I don't know, but definitely with Ghanaians, when it comes to finishing off a job that someone else has started, they actually don't like it. Not just because, it's a headache doing someone else's job. No, we understand that, because in the UK they do that. No builder likes to take over someone else's job because you just don't know what they've done and it's complicated and stuff like that. But when it comes to Ghanaians, it's deeper than that. They feel that to take over someone's job is kind of like in bad taste. It's almost like there's an aspect of, like, maybe something happened, there's like that whole juju thing, like, why I can't just take someone else's job? It doesn't, I can't do that. So if someone has started your job, it's very hard to then get someone else to come and finish off that job. So when we had a few people come and see the job, so when they saw that the African map was done, they were like, so where's the person who started it for you? And we said, he's been called away on another job, and he's going to be there for some time, but we need to kind of like keep the project going. And so, honestly, some of them were not convinced, and they were like, no, this one, I can't take it. Only until we actually got Zach to meet with Alex, and the two of them spoke, and Zach was like, no, you can take the job, it's fine, I'm busy doing something else, there's no issue here, nothing like that. Until that conversation happened, honestly, we were stuck. Like, no one wanted to take the job. It wasn't about money. This was not a money issue. This was like, no, I'm not going to just come and do someone else's job. So like that for us was like really strange. It's like, really? You're not going to take it because someone else started it? For us, it didn't make sense. For Ghanaians, it made sense to them. And so it was just like a weird thing that I'd never come across before. And it was just like, kind of like felt a bit strange. Like, what is this? What is happening here? But it's one of those things, and now we're kind of used to it. So whenever we get a trade in now, we kind of like make sure that, okay, you're here, you can finish the job, and we just make sure that everything kind of like will be able to run smoothly, because we just don't want to face the same thing again where you've got someone to come and plaster or whatever, and now you need someone else to take over for various different reasons. Like when we had a bear crew come to the plaster, a bear crew is amazing at it. Like, that guy works solid hard. I mean, he's absolutely amazing with plastering. But a bear crew is also very busy. He gets jobs, because he's so good at what he does. So when you have someone like that that's really good, if you're going to get a bear crew to come and plaster, you have to let him hit everything. So you can't say, do this room, and then we'll call you back to come and do another thing later on. If you do that, a bear crew will start another job, and he's not going to leave that job to come back to your job. It doesn't work like that. There's no such thing as that here. So you've got to let them do everything at once, unless you know that you're prepared to wait however long it is until he's free again to come back And so that's one of the things I've noticed. So if you are going to build in Ghana, make sure that the person that you're getting can be here to do the whole thing. You're not going to have any issues. Let things run as smoothly as possible, because you know what? You don't want no wahala, no mistake. You don't want no problems. So that's one of the things to look out for if you're building, most definitely. Okay, so another thing we need to be aware of is something called mobilization money. Now, when I first came across the term mobilization money, I was like, what is that? What is mobilization money? Like, I really didn't understand, but now I completely understand it perfectly. Okay, so when you're abroad and you call out a trade to come and, I don't know, quote you for something, this or that or whatever. Now, if it's just for a quote, a lot of the time, you don't need to give them anything for them to arrive at your doorstep. They turn up and they quote for the job, and that's that. Okay. I'm not talking about these like emergency service things like emergency plumber or anything. I'm not talking about those ones. Yes, you do have to pay something. But I'm talking about like, okay, I'd like someone to come and give me a quote to paint my house, for example. The person doesn't say, oh, well, you know what, you need to give me mobilization money before I can come. Like, if I was to hear that in the UK, I'll just put the phone down like, you ain't gonna hear from me again. But here in Ghana, mobilization money is a very standard stuff, standard practice. So if you call out a trade to do something for you, whether it's just to quote, to do a job, whatever, you have to give them mobilization money. Some of them will take mobilization money once they've arrived, and some of them you have to empty in their mobilization money before they will come. And that mobilization money basically is just like transport money to get from where they are to where you are. And I guess it kind of does make sense when you think about it, because I mean, you could get 6 people to come and quote for a job. And each of those people, are they going to lose? They might have left another job to come and do it. They might have don't have any money to even reach you, because I mean, let's be real. This is Ghana. Some people are living like hand to mouth, and so the small money that they have, you know, you can't expect them to spend it on transport getting to you to quote for a job that they may not get. So you have to give them mobilization money. It's very standard. So if someone comes to you and says, hey, I need mobilization money, don't get upset. It's very standard. They're not trying to rip you off. It's just part of the process. And it's also kind of like good manners here as well. I mean, mobilization money is not going to cost you like, you know, £100 or $100 or whatever like that. Mobilization money sometimes is like 30 cities, 50 cities, whatever it is. It's not going to like break your bank. So honestly, if someone says that they need mobilization money, I don't think it should be something that you're gonna like twist your face up about. It's pretty standard stuff, and it's kind of fair, really. If you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. If you see what I'm saying. So yeah, so mobilization money is something that you definitely need to get used to. So yeah, just get used to it. The quicker you get used to some of these little things, the easier things will get for you. Otherwise, you'll frustrate yourself for starters, because you're thinking, why is the person asking me for mobilization money? Why do I have to pay you anything? But aren't you gonna come and look at the job and da-da-da-da-da? Don't do that. Just don't do that. Just take it for what it is. It's mobilization money. Understand the perspective from where the person's coming from. If they don't get the job, then technically they have lost out coming to you. So yeah, just pay it. Basically, it's mobilization money. What can I say? Okay, so guys, this is another one. Okay, right. Now, let me just say this. I should have said this at the beginning, okay? If you're particularly sensitive, perhaps this is not the video for you. What I'm saying is not just stuff that, oh, I'm just saying it just because I want to say it. It's actually stuff that does happen, and it's stuff that we've experienced. And so, if you're highly sensitive to anybody saying anything, it's probably not the video for you. Sorry. Stay tuned for the next one, hey? But yeah, anyway, let's just keep going. So the next one is sometimes when it comes to, okay, let me start with abroad. Okay, so you know abroad, when someone comes to a job for you, yeah, and they do something, and like, okay, say that they've just painted the wall for you, and they've left they've left a mark, or they've done something, or it's not correct, or whatever, it's patchy, whatever it is, yeah, and you say to the person, but look what you've done, like, you haven't done the thing properly, why is it like this? What is that about? Can you just fix, look, can you make sure that you fix it? I mean, okay, you're not going to tell the person harshly, but you'll just say what you're saying. As in, look, I'm paying for a job. Can you make sure that you've done the thing properly? That's a point. In Ghana, if you don't say things, I'm not saying that you're being disrespectful, but if you don't say things nicely, you can easily rub someone up the wrong way. And this is why I find that some of the times, if you're a woman and you're building on your own, it can be very hard to try and correct some tradespeople because they feel like it gets their back up a little bit. So when you say certain things, you have to say it like quite gently, almost like, I'm trying to even pick my words because you guys, man, you can't handle it. If I talk straight, you can't handle it, some of you. So I'm just trying to like speak gently here. So like you have to speak to the person very gently. So I might say, okay, oh, but boss, look, you've done this. Look, can you see that it's not like, maybe you need to put another coat on, it's a little bit patchy here. Can you kind of like try and just do this for me? You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, boss, you've done well, but let's just try and do this part. Do you see the difference in how you speak? You can't just say what you want to say. I'm not saying that you're being rude in what you're saying, but you can't just say what you want to say just like that. You have to say it in a particular way. It's almost like, like when you tell off a child, but you don't want them to feel disheartened, so you back it up with another one like, hey, you didn't do the work properly. Okay, it was a good effort though, but maybe we can try and do this. Like you have to do you have to be careful how you say things, because if you say something the wrong way, you will not even know that the person is even upset. You will not know even that you've even offended the person, because abroad, if you're upset with someone, you can see it on there, you can, but here, you won't see nothing. All that will happen is, you'll be waiting for the person to come the next day to work. Hey, Charlie, where are you? No, in fact, no, scrap that, because you won't even get that far. You'll be calling. All you hear is, bring, 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 bring. No one, I can't remember what. I forgot even how the phones go. How do the phones ring again? Because in Ghana, when you make a phone call, it's like you get music playing or something. I've even forgotten how, because in the UK we don't have that. When the phone rings, it rings a particular way. It's been so long that I can't remember what the phone sounds like when you're calling someone. I can't remember. That's what I'm saying, ring, 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 ring. Anyway, so just ignore me. Anyway, I'm going off topic. Right, so you've been calling a person, and you'll just be hearing crickets, because that person won't even pick your call. They'll just leave you like that. And this ties to my first point that I made earlier about, someone coming to finish off someone's job. So now if that person is upset with you and they don't want to come to work anymore, right? You're going to find it so hard to get someone else in to come and finish that job. It is, I'm not joking, it will just frustrate you. Almost like, you're just going to be so frustrated trying to get hold of that person again after you've upset them, because honestly, they won't come to work, they won't call you to tell you anything, you've just upset them. I mean, sometimes it's like, this is just long, I'm paying for a job, why don't you just come and do the thing and you'll be done with, do you know what I mean? But it's not like that, you'll just get frustrated. So just, if you've got a tradesperson, just speak to them nicely. And one thing you just do not do is think that you are better than somebody, because you know what, honestly you're not. And so that's a lot of the time when you see us working with the tradespeople that we have, we kind of like to just be ourselves, and we kind of let them have a certain element to also be themselves, but obviously kind of like trying to keep that kind of like work relationship so that boundaries don't get crossed.
Hey, that's the one. Go down. Hey. Hey. Are you that?
Hey, I didn't like that.
Yeah, boss.
Hey.
Boss. Hey. I wish I knew how to do the moves, man. A high five for that one. Bing.
But we kind of let them be free. So sometimes we're like, hey, Charlie, we're going to the shop. Let's go and get you guys some drinks and do you see what I mean? Just to kind of keep a really good working relationship with people. Not because we think that, they might not have to come to work tomorrow, but just, I think in any work environment, it's just nice to keep a good atmosphere with the people that you have working with you, and it also helps them to keep coming back as well. You know, like, you're not better than them, so don't pretend that you're better than them, and just kind of like be cool. You know what I'm saying? Be cool. So that's just some of the things that we have experienced. I mean, let me just say this, right? Since we have been working with a nanny gets a lot of our tradespeople for us, and we haven't really had, I don't think we've ever had like a major issue with anybody on anything. There's been times maybe where something was done a bit sloppy and so they have to correct what they've done, but we've not had any like major issues. But trust me, in the past, when we first came to Ghana, we were kind of like fresh and we were doing something, we did have issues with some of the people that worked for us because they don't understand us, we don't understand them, and so it was kind of like a little bit difficult to get things to, it's kind of difficult to synergize basically. But now I feel like we're a bit more experienced at it, so it comes a little bit easier. So just kind of like be aware of that kind of stuff sometimes, because you know, you don't need any problem building here, it's hard enough. Don't create any extra problems for yourself that you just really simply do not need to do. Just don't do it. Okay, so another thing to look out for is, well, I say look out for, it's not really looking out for. But another thing to be aware of is sometimes if you have someone, a trade in, sometimes they will want their money in stages as the process is going along. They want the money for various reasons. Okay, so abroad, you know, if you get someone in to do a job, unless it's a massive job, usually, you know, you just pay at the end. So if I've got some money to come and, you know, paint my house, whatever, I'll buy the paint, and then they do the job. When they finish doing the job and everybody's happy, then you pay them. But here in Ghana, you kind of like give a little bit at a time. So usually after the first, if it's a big job, after the first couple of days, you may need to give a little something to keep them motivated and kind of keep them going. If you say, I'm not going to give you anything to the end of the job, you're going to cause yourself issues, because that's just not the way it works here. You have to kind of give them a little bit as the job goes on. Even if the job is just for like a week, it's best to just give them a little bit. It kind of like shows a little bit of appreciation as you're going, and shows that you're happy with things, and it just kind of keeps the person, you know, wanting to come back and, you know, continue with the job and stuff like that. So don't be surprised if, you know, you start a job with someone and they say, oh boss, you know, because sometimes they don't know how to ask for money, so sometimes they'll just kind of like hang around and they're waiting to get something to keep coming. Sometimes they may need that money to come back to work the next day. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I don't know. But, you know, they need the money for various reasons. So sometimes they can't wait a whole week or a whole month till the end of the job before they get any money out of you. So you might need to pay in stages. So don't let that surprise you. It's just how it is here. It's one of those things. You know what I'm saying? I've got a really stiff neck today. I don't know. I slept really funny. In fact, it's loosened up. I washed my hair earlier, and so now my neck is loosened up a bit. But this morning I was like, I literally couldn't. It still kind of hurts if I move too much. It's not so bad. But anyway, here I go, going off topic again. Yes. So you know, just kind of like think about maybe giving money a little bit at a time. Do not give everything up front though, please. Let me just tell you that one. I remember there was this, I may have spoken about it before. There was this meme that I saw, I don't know, well, it wasn't a meme, this little short video that I saw of the guy. They called him to do some painting job and they gave him the whole money up front. The next day he came to work, the guy was plastered. He was just doing this and he was all over, I mean, it was hilarious. Obviously it was a joke, it was just funny, but it was very funny. It was an exaggeration, but it was just very funny. Obviously, no matter where you are in the world, do not give someone money, the whole thing up front, and expect them to keep coming back full of enthusiasm for all the other days, because it just ain't gonna happen. So you can give a little bit up front, and then as the job goes on, you just keep giving it in increments. That's pretty normal stuff here in Ghana. Okay, so those are basically just some of the things that I wanted to share with you, because, you know, building here in Ghana is so different to building abroad. Some of the things you will not expect, some of it you could probably kind of guess along the way, but some of it will probably be a shock to you. So I don't want you guys to have a shock when you're coming to build here. I want you guys to have a smooth sailing process. So I just want to share stuff with you guys as our process goes along, and as you begin your process, even some of this stuff you may have already experienced, I'd love to hear that. Actually, if you have experienced any of this stuff, I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comment section. Do drop me a comment there. I'd love to read it. I'd love to know about other people's building process, because no two building projects are the same. Different things happen, and it's just, I mean, like, it could be a whole TV show on its own, honestly, some of the things that happen on site. Strange. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, and that's all I wanted to do basically, is just share my experiences of, our experiences of building here, and some of the things that we face, some of the things perhaps that we didn't know that is pretty common here, some of the things that shocked us. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you guys. If it hasn't, I'm sorry that it hasn't, but hopefully it has. But anyway guys, that is the end of today's video. Please do me a favor, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button for me, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to also do me a favor and like, comment and share this video for me. I would really appreciate